Hey, Sagittarius. Welcome back. Or maybe this is your first time here. Either way, I'm really glad you found this moment. Take a breath, a real one. Let your shoulders drop. You don't need to be anywhere else right now. Today, we're sitting with a word that I know you have a complicated relationship with: clarity. Because for you, the archer, the traveler, the eternal seeker, clarity can feel like a destination that keeps moving. Every time you think you've arrived at understanding, the horizon shifts. Another question rises. Another path opens up. And part of you loves the adventure of it. But another part of you, the quieter part you don't always let others see, sometimes just wants to know, wants to feel settled, wants the fog to lift. So today, we're not going to chase clarity the way you usually chase things, at full speed, arrow drawn, eyes on the distance. Today, we're going to let it come to us, gently, on its own terms. Before we go any further, I want to acknowledge something. The energy surrounding this time of year, March, the threshold between winter's stillness and spring's insistence, can feel disorienting for a sign like yours. You're ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, optimism, and vision. And Jupiter, by its very nature, wants to grow, wants to reach, wants more. But lately, you may have noticed a tension, a kind of internal weather system where the urge to move forward is bumping up against a sense of not knowing which direction is truly forward anymore. Maybe you've been second-guessing something you were once certain about. Maybe a situation in your life, a relationship, a career path, a belief you've held for years, has begun to look different in this particular light. And that shift can feel unsettling, especially for someone who prides themselves on having a clear philosophical compass. What if the uncertainty you're feeling isn't a sign that something is wrong, but a sign that something inside you is growing beyond what your old certainties could contain? You haven't lost your way, Sagittarius. You've outgrown a map, and that's actually a beautiful, if uncomfortable, thing. Today is an invitation to sit with that discomfort long enough to see what it's trying to show you. Let's talk about what clarity actually is, because I think we often misunderstand it. We treat clarity like a final answer, like a clear road with no fog, no mystery, no uncertainty. We think, once I have clarity, I'll know what to do, and then I'll act, and then everything will be fine. But here's what I've come to believe, and I wonder if some part of you already knows this. Clarity isn't the absence of confusion. It's the willingness to be honest about what you actually feel, want, and value, even when that honesty is inconvenient, even when it contradicts what you thought you believed. For Sagittarius energy specifically, clarity often gets blocked in a particular way. You are so gifted at seeing the big picture, at finding meaning in the abstract, at holding philosophical frameworks that make sense of everything, that sometimes a very intimate, very personal, very specific truth of your own heart gets overlooked, talked past, rationalized away. So the question today isn't, what is the wisest path? The question is, what do I actually feel? What do I genuinely want? Not what I think I should want, not what makes a good story, not what aligns with the person I like to see myself as. What is true for me right now in this season of my life? You might want to pause the video here for a moment. Ask yourself, is there something in my life right now that I've been explaining away to others or to myself? Something I keep framing as complicated or it's a lot to get into, when actually I know exactly how I feel about it, and it's just hard to admit? You don't have to answer that out loud. Just let it land. That moment of quiet honesty, that's where your clarity lives today. Not in the sky, not in the stars, not in someone else's wisdom. In that small, still place in you that already knows. So, how do we work with this energy today? How do we actually move toward clarity in a way that's grounded and kind to ourselves? First, slow down the information intake. Sagittarius, you are a learner by nature, a reader, a listener, a gatherer of ideas. And in moments of confusion, the temptation is to consume more advice, more content, more perspectives, hoping that the right external input will finally click something into place. But today, the guidance is to do the opposite. Before you seek more information from the outside world, spend a little time with the information already inside you. Try this. Instead of scrolling, instead of reaching for a podcast, instead of texting a friend to process. Give yourself 15 minutes of genuine quiet. No input, just you and whatever arises. It might feel uncomfortable. That's okay. Discomfort is often just suppressed clarity, waiting for some air. Second, notice where you're using optimism as avoidance. This one is gentle but important. One of Sagittarius' most gorgeous gifts is your natural positivity. Your ability to see the light, to find the silver lining, to trust that things will work out. The world genuinely needs that energy. But today, take a moment to ask, is my optimism coming from a place of genuine peace, or is it a way of not looking directly at something that needs attention? There's a difference between I trust this will work out coming from a grounded, accepting place, and I'm sure it'll be fine said quickly before the harder feeling has time to surface. Only you know which one you've been living in lately. Clarity doesn't demand that you have all the answers. It asks only that you stop pretending you don't have any. Third, let clarity be partial. We don't need to see the whole staircase today. We don't need to resolve every open question. Sometimes clarity comes in small installments, a sentence, an image, a sudden recognition that only covers one corner of a larger picture. And that's enough. Honor the partial clarity that's available to you right now instead of dismissing it because it doesn't feel complete. If today you get clear on just one thing, one relationship dynamic, one internal belief, one next step, that's meaningful. That's real. That's more than most people give themselves a month. I want to share something with you about the symbol of Sagittarius, the archer. We often focus on an arrow in flight, the momentum, the aim, the release. That's the part of your archetype that feels most alive to you, I think. The pursuit, the forward movement. But there's a moment in every archer's practice that gets far less attention. It's the moment just before release, the still point, the breath held, the mind quiet, the body fully present. In that pause, the archer isn't thinking about the destination or calculating wind speed or worrying whether the shot will land. They're simply here, in total alignment with the present moment. That still point is where accuracy actually comes from, not the strength of the pull, not the quality of the arrow, the stillness, the inner quiet just before motion. And I wonder, Sagittarius, whether what you're being invited into today, this energy of clarity, isn't so different from that moment. A pause before the next chapter, a breath before the next leap, not because you're lost, but because you're smart enough to know that the clearest, truest decisions come not from momentum alone, but from moments of genuine inner stillness. Here are a few questions to sit with today. You can journal them, or simply let them live in the background of your awareness. What have I been seeking outside of myself that might actually be waiting for me inside? Where in my life have I been moving fast to avoid feeling something? What would I do or stop doing if I allowed myself to be fully honest about what I truly want right now? What does my body feel, even when my mind isn't sure? These aren't rhetorical questions. They're real invitations. And the answers, when they come, won't arrive as bolts of lightning or dramatic revelations. They'll come quietly, in the stillness between thoughts, in the moment after you stop trying so hard to figure it all out. Before we close, I want to offer you something to carry into the rest of your day. Not a prediction, not a promise, just a gentle anchor. A few words you can return when things feel murky or loud or confusing. Here is your affirmation for today. You might want to say it out loud or simply let it settle in. I do not need to have everything figured out to move forward with integrity. I trust the clarity that comes to me gently, and I give myself permission to know what I know, even when I'm still learning the rest. Say it again if you need to. It's okay if it doesn't land perfectly the first time. Affirmations aren't magic spells. They're gentle redirections, little invitations to believe something kinder about yourself and your situation. Sagittarius, you are one of the most beautifully alive signs in the zodiac. Your love of truth, your hunger for meaning, your instinct toward freedom and growth. These are not flaws to be managed. They are the very things that make you magnificent. And on a day like today, when the theme is clarity, those qualities matter more than ever because your truth, your particular, personal, unrationalized truth, is worth knowing, worth sitting with, worth protecting. You don't need someone to tell you what your life means or what choice to make or where your path is heading. You never really did. What you might need, what today is gently offering, is a little space to hear yourself, really hear yourself, beneath the busyness, beneath the optimism, beneath the plans and philosophy, and the beautiful noise of a mind that never stops exploring. Beneath all of that is a voice that knows. It's been there the whole time. So today, Sagittarius, let that voice speak. And more importantly, let yourself listen. I hope this guidance found you at the right moment. Take good care of yourself today. Drink some water. Step outside if you can. Let the world remind you that clarity, like seasons, comes in its own time, and that waiting for it, patiently and with self-compassion, is its own kind of wisdom. Until next time,